Well, we're certainly putting the spotlight on the KZN floods, and Kuhle Adams is in Johannesburg, crossing to us live as she chats to the team from Gift of the Givers and Hope SA Foundation that's also going to provide some relief to the KZN floods.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Welcome back to Johannesburg. Kuhle Adams reporting live for duty this side. Now, the Hope SA Foundation is a non-profit organization that seeks to help disaster-affected communities and underdeveloped communities. And right now, I have the pleasure of having a conversation with businesswomen and philanthropists and the founder of Hope SA, Namrita Sivsanka, and she's here to tell us more about the initiatives that they are running as Hope SA in Johannesburg and what they are doing to help communities that are most affected by the KZN floods. Namrita, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Kuhle.
Namrita, now you have been described as a leader in your community. You have been giving back to communities for many years. We had a conversation earlier and how you started Hope SA. What motivated you to start the Hope SA Foundation?
Kuhle, I think Hope SA Foundation was born a long time ago, back when I was a little girl, finding my purpose in life, thinking that there's no way I'm going to live this life and just breathe air and exist. So for me, it was questioning my purpose, seeing all the poverty around me, seeing all the abuse around me in my own household. And it motivated me to want to do something better, to make a difference, to make the world a better place. So
I absolutely love that. That is truly inspirational. Now, when we focus on KZN and the KZN floods, it has created an even larger economic gap in South Africa with infrastructures being destroyed. What is Hope SA doing or hoping to do to help with that situation?
So from the start of the flooding, we've been on the ground. I think from the very next day we were there because we've had calls from ward councillors, Department of Social Development. We've been so proactive in assisting them with providing relief for the affected communities, people that have been left without homes. We provided your meals, mattresses, blankets, clothing, basic essentials, and most importantly, water. I think the water issue, the water crisis is quite crippling to communities, to the country as a whole. So to date, we've distributed over 100,000 litres of water in Durban, in KZN. We've distributed over 20 tons of food and clothing. And going forward, we want to work more on water solutions and provide more sustainable options and solutions for people regarding water. So our focus is on Jojo tanks and providing boreholes for communities, because schools have now been closed for close to 2 months. So imagine the amount of people or children that are left without education, and the entire community in your household is disrupted.
Yes.
During this time.
It's absolutely heartbreaking to even think about it and to see the images that we see rotating on social media.
Yes.
I mean, you just touched on the supplying sustainable water solutions for the communities.
Yes.
Can you please expand a little bit more about that initiative that you're currently running?
So currently we've had some wonderful sponsors who have assisted us with providing water tanks, and we've distributed to schools and your churches and your community centers. It would assist communities in harvesting rainwater and keeping it for daily use. A longer term option would be your boreholes, but it's a costly process, so a lot of funding is required for that. A borehole costs between 150 to 200,000 rand, depending on the depth that's being drilled. So there's a lot of funding required, and despite all the tragedy in KZN, we've also had some wonderful moments, and can I share this?
Yes, please.
So we've had a company, Krispy Kreme. Everybody knows Krispy Kreme donuts. And over the Easter weekend, there was so much of this, sadness all around and stress and so much of chaos. So Krispy Kreme came on board, and we distributed 600 dozens of Krispy Kreme donuts over the Easter weekend, where we were able to share so much of joy to kids and families that have suffered this trauma and this loss of their home and property. So it was a bit of good cheer in that time, so I'm grateful to share that.
To put a smile on the face.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't love donuts, right?
Definitely.
I mean, you have chartered flights to send out aids to KZN to help out with the communities. What are some of the challenges that you're faced with regards to distributing aid for the communities?
Some of the huge challenges we face is transportation. An example would be during KZN flooding, there were no vehicles, bakkies, double cabs available to hire. So we had to call on volunteers to assist us with bakkies, to assist us with transporting goods, because we couldn't access communities because of the roads being damaged. So one of the huge challenges we have is transportation. So we do call on people to assist us, companies, corporates, to assist us in any way with transportation, whether sponsoring transport or sponsoring vehicles, because even during the July unrest, transportation was a huge issue. So getting your goods from distribution point to communities, that's a challenge. And because I'm on the ground, I'm able to see firsthand what happens in the communities. And a challenge for me there is, not a lot of recognition is given to the smaller parties or NGOs or community groups that play a part on the ground. And they're all doing their bit. Everybody's doing their bit to make this world a better place.
Everyone is hands-on to ensure that, we are in a better place, as you've just said. What can we do as South Africans to round up, to band up, to help support the efforts that you're putting in disaster-affected communities?
I want to make this, make a point of this, is that when the flooding happened, everybody rallied to help KZN. And now it's been a few weeks later, we've had another occurrence, but people have forgotten that these people still need to get back to rebuilding their lives and rebuilding their homes. So there was a flurry of assistance, but now it's toned down and people are still struggling. They still, cannot build their homes, so they still need help. The need is huge. We need to go back to helping people rebuild, give them food, give them basic supplies. And while government takes its time, people are still in need. And while Hope SA Foundation is aligned with the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, we want people to be encouraged to do more. Each one, it takes one person to make a difference. So each one, help one person, can make a huge difference in this world.
I love that. Are there any currently running initiatives in Johannesburg and drop-off points where people can, help?
Sure. In Johannesburg, we feed 400 meals a day from Monday to Friday in about 17 communities on a rotation basis. So we're always looking for people to come on board, assist us, sponsor a meal for the day, sponsor items, even transportation, picking up the meals during the distribution. And we're running the Winter Warm Drive, where we focus on old age homes, the homeless, orphanages, old age homeless, and it's just about giving kindness back, giving hope to people in some little way, whether it's a pair of socks, a beanie, a scarf, a cup of soup. It's some way of giving hope back.
So it doesn't matter how small, it can make a big difference in someone's life. Namrita, thank you so much for all the efforts that you're putting in to make our nation a better place. And may God continue to bless you guys and your organization. Now, you at home can also assist by simply visiting www.hopesa.org, or if you want more information on drop-off locations or other initiatives running, simply email info@hopesa.org. It has been such a pleasure reporting live from Johannesburg. Adams, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic Klein Vrydag.